Hey everyone, and welcome to my weekly check-in vlog where I take you along for the weekend to see how I'm doing and what I'm reading. My name is Wiebke, and this year I'm trying to get myself out of survival mode. This week was good. It was definitely a lot better than last week. I even had a really good day. I was in a good mood. I got a lot of things done, and I even had successes and wins at work, which hasn't been coming a lot lately. So that was good. I don't know if it's because the weather was a little bit better or if the daylight lamp I bought is showing some effect. I'm basically using it about 30 minutes in the morning during breakfast or exercising usually. So that's good. I've also made finally some progress on what kind of goals I want to follow for the rest of the year and what I want to let go of. So hopefully I can manage today to film my goals check-in, and we'll talk about goals in a separate videos then. But I'm feeling a lot more optimistic and positive today. Also because I spent a lot of time in bed. It's a little bit later than I normally would like to get up, but I finally finished reading Snuff in bed. And it took me so long because all the time I was reading, I wasn't actually reading. I was just thinking I was reading. I have the tendency to fall asleep when I blink. That kind of happens to me when I'm reading or watching series. I blink and then I open my eyes again and some time passed. And when I'm reading, I often think I'm reading, but I'm actually not reading because my eyes are closed and I'm continuing the story. It can be very confusing. So that's why finishing the last 10 pages this morning took me a little bit longer than expected. But I'm happy to finally have finished Snuff, so I can tick that off my list and start something new for the weekend. I'll tell you later what that is. First, of course, I need to go running. With the running is one of the things I decided to let go of. Not running itself, but the way I'd been running since I had this performance analysis done in spring. And I am not seeing any difference. I'm not seeing any improvement, and I'm not enjoying it as much to run the slow runs that I'm supposed to run. So I'm giving up on that. And I'm going to just run slow on Saturdays and long on Saturdays, but not that slow. So my heart rate won't be in the zone that it's supposed to be, but who cares? I want to have fun running, not worry about heart rate. And it's rather cold today. It's 3 degrees Celsius, but it's very sunny and we have blue skies. So I'm hoping to get a little bit further than I did last week with the 4K. So I am going to listen to the third part, or I'm starting the third part of Rhythm of War. I have been listening to a lot of podcasts and shorter audiobooks lately, so I forgot to continue with the fourth book in the Stormlight archive. As you know, if you've been following along, I'm trying to read the Cosme books this year or finish reading them, and the Stormlight archive is taking me a lot longer than expected, mostly because the audiobooks are very long and I tend to lose patience and interest about halfway through. So for this book, I decided I'll listen to a part, take a break, do something else, and come back for the next part. So far, it's working. I'm much more interested in the story and listening and invested, but I forgot to pick it up. So let's try and start part 3 today and maybe finish on the weekend. I don't know how many hours that is. These books are too long. A lot happens and nothing happens at the same time. You know what I mean? So that's the plan for today for the run. I'll talk to you later and see what we'll do. If the weather stays nice, maybe we'll go out and go to a cafe and read. Maybe I'm gaslighting myself every time I say I'm getting better. It's Sunday, 4 p.m. and I crashed so many times today and did stupid things. But let's rewind all the way back to Saturday. I came back from my run. My run was perfect. 9 kilometers in sunshine. I wasn't too slow, I wasn't too fast, I was feeling good. Then I had breakfast, sat down, sorted out my goals, filmed my goals video and went out to read. So, first the goals video, I just edited that. I felt good about what I said. There are so many mistakes, stupid mistakes, where my brain doesn't really process German and English correctly. The words come out in English, but they're not always the right words. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But the goals video is edited, a little bit rambly as usual. I feel okay about it. It's uploading right now, so you will probably have seen it until the vlog comes out. If not, go check it out. And let's talk goals. So, the food. I had good food. That was very tasty. I wanted to read my book and started and really spend some time with it. I read every paragraph twice. So I read 2 chapters at the restaurant and I was okay with that, but my brain was just not having it. Afterwards, I had to go food shopping, so I went to the store and I kept going back between the aisles because I forgot things that I desperately wanted to buy. So, like I'm saying, I'm gaslighting myself, thinking I'm doing better. Then back home, I was ready to crash, but I told myself I am doing the dishes and I am making muffins from scratch. Because I needed to get rid of some eggs and I wanted to have muffin snacks throughout the week. That turned out well, the muffins are okay. And I want to increase berries and different berries and not just blueberries in my diet. So I had raspberries and blueberries. No, that's nice. I noticed that the problem with increasing berries into my diet is that I basically like strawberries and I like blueberries, but all the other berries, I like the taste, but I don't like the pips. Yeah, struggling with that. But I think I have to get over that and just add them every now and again for benefits. Whatever. Anyways, so I did that and then I sat down finally on my couch at like 6:30 or something and spent half an hour trying to find something to watch, because even though I'm in a show that I like, Love in the Clouds, you remember I started that and I really enjoyed it, but somehow I haven't been continuing, and I still haven't, because after half an hour I settled on Romantics Anonymous and binged all 8 episodes. What a lovely series. No overly dramatic drama, no overly dramatic misunderstandings. They were really restful, so I enjoyed that. But that meant I went to bed late, and then this morning I stayed in bed a very, very long time because I was reading. That was good. I finished my book. I'm going to tell you about the book in a minute. But I didn't get up till 11, and I wanted to have my windows cleaned and my curtains washed before breakfast. And that was where everything was stupid. I basically fasted too long because I didn't get to breakfast till 12. And then I crashed so badly. I had a headache. My food didn't really do anything. So I was just eating because I was so hungry. And then I was overstuffed, but still not fulfilled. And I was regretting it. And I was sitting in a mess because I didn't really have the energy and mind frame to really clear the space and just put all the things on there. And there is something where I'm struggling to accept that I know I do better when everything is cleaned. I have the nice tabletops, the clean tabletops that everybody says is better. I agree. I just don't know how to do that on a regular basis. I keep ending up after a few days eating in a mess, sitting in a mess, and having to find the time and energy to put everything away, but I don't take the time. And then I'm angry at myself. I still didn't clean up the space. I spent the afternoon or after breakfast, the rest of the time I spent editing the goals video, and I started on editing this vlog and had to notice that half of the footage, not good. Either not usable or didn't even save. Yeah, I really think I'm gaslighting myself and thinking I'm doing better. I probably should have just stayed in bed all day, had food and rested and didn't do anything for my brain. But then I probably wouldn't have felt the same feelings of accomplishment and happiness that I'm feeling now about having the goals video done and being almost done with editing the vlog. So there's no editing happening next week when work is going to be busy. And now this battery is flashing. Let's see if I can tell you about the book. I read the sixth book in the Singing Hills cycle, which is a novella series by Nghi about a cleric who is roaming or traveling the country looking for stories and events and writing down what happened. The Singing Hills is a archive where all the histories and truths of the past are collected, and the clerics go around to places where things happened, important things, and ask the people to tell them stories about it. The whole series is about storytelling, the meaning of truth, lies, and stories in general, and history and how history is perceived. In this edition, the 6th volume is about a famine, and the cleric goes to the city and ends up hearing about what happens when the famine demon came and what people did. So be prepared. It's about eating people and being really devastated when you're starving and what you do when starving. I really enjoyed it. It was well written as usual. It was really captivating. It was around 100 pages, so really a quick read. And if you haven't started on the Singing Hills cycle and you're interested in storytelling, the stories in a made-up country, of course. The country really doesn't exist, but throughout the series you meet different areas, different histories, and it is captivating. I highly recommend it if you haven't started on that. Now, like I said, it's 4 p.m. It's still sunny. I think we have about another hour and a half, and I need to get out of the house because I haven't been out all day. I will take you on another walk after I say goodbye, and let me know how your weekend was. Have you read the Singing Hills cycle? I'm not doing much else. Reading wise, have you watched Romantic Anonymous? Let me know, and let's just talk. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Also, thank you for your patience with my ramblies.